Created by the ancient Romans, probably. Revered across all cultures for its medicinal qualities, and a staple in every household in the world. That's science. That's stats. Everyone's recipe is slightly different. I strongly believe that the sauce should be a reflection of yourself. While I can give you the basic bones and structure, it's up to you to add your own individual flair. The sauce will understand. In fact, the sauce encourages it, desires it. She is a stern but forgiving mistress. If something doesn't work, she will always spread her legs again, eager to take another thrust from a yearning pupil. As long as your heart is pure and your intentions noble, she will not rebuke you. She will not cast you asunder. The sauce will lift you up upon her majestic shoulders, cradle you in her arms like a baby, envelop you in her seductive embrace. Give your purest essence to the sauce, and she will repay you for a lifetime. Don't use jar sauce. Jar sauce is for peasants and losers, okay? Just don't do it. Okay, starting off, we have the Holy Trinity here. Expertly laid out in 3 piles like a trinity probably would be. Garlic. This is an entire bulb. We're gonna peel the skin off, don't worry. Onion. Don't worry about this one yet. Mind your business. This ingredient is a little controversial, so it gets its own little debut later on where I can preemptively defend myself. Finally, the tomato. Peel the skin off, and we'll chop this up a bit so it dissolves into the sauce. There it is, the Holy Trinity. For the meat, I went for my family's traditional cuts. We're a mountain peoples, so it's all pork. Pork sausage, pork neck bones, yada yada. If I want to get fancy, I'll do beef short rib, but in the old country, we need the cows for milk, so they stay alive as long as possible. The pork adds some fatty flavors, and the bone gets you that nice collagen. Brown these up slightly. I mean, very slightly. We want the majority of the cook to be low and slow on the simmer. We're just sealing in some juices here and avoiding putting in totally raw meat into the pot.
You gotta have the pork.
Oh, that's the flavor.
Pretty much just like this. A brisk browning. I was gonna use this fancy garlic grater, but ditched it almost immediately. We went for the rustic chop instead, which is just a nice way to say it's sloppy.
Paulie did the prep work. He was doing a year for contempt, and he had this wonderful system for doing the garlic. He used a razor, and he used to slice it so thin that it used to liquefy in the pan with just a little oil. It's a very good system.
We left that beautiful meat juice in the pot and tossed in the chopped onions and the rustic chopped garlic. Get yourself a wooden spoon if you don't have one. I can't stress how important it is to use one. Why? I don't know, it's just the rules. Mix that up nice, get it sweaty. Don't burn it like I'm starting to do here. Now this is a pro tip. Add the tomato paste in now so it cooks up with the onions and garlic. This will give a deeper flavor to everything. Another pro tip. Pour the beef stock into the tomato paste can to unlock all those stubborn little residues left behind. Adding the stock helps deglaze the pot a little bit and gives the garlicky, oniony paste more fluidity and starts to turn it into more of an emulsion. And that's probably the wrong word. Now's the time to add salt. Don't use an empty one like me. The Trinity is reunited when the tomatoes join the jacuzzi. More beef stock just because I'm feeling crazy. This is where the sauce really starts to take shape. I use literally any brand of unseasoned puree and crushed tomato. This time it's Hunt's brand. It really doesn't matter. I've tried them all and there's no difference other than the price. The magic we do will elevate any of them except ketchup. If you're using ketchup, I can't help you. I do 2 cans of puree to 1 can of crushed. Just like before, we use that can to fill with water to unlock those secret morsels and add to the pot. We want this slightly thin at first so it can reduce down. We will repeat this process over and over to extract maximum flavor. Don't throw that can out because it can and should be used to hold your wooden spoon. Respect your ancestors.
That's a great idea. I'm with that.
Don't forget this guy.
Onions! Get your onions here, folks. God's own chosen vegetable. Nature's magic vegetables right here, folks.
For the herbs, we have sage, thyme, and rosemary. Pop those right in. We'll pick out the stems after, or if we forget, just call it rustic again.
We'll do it live. Fuck it.
Now for the controversy I mentioned.
Behold the beloved spice that we know as ginger. Officially, it's known as Zingiber officiale. It was most popular with the Romans, but almost disappeared after the fall of the Roman Empire. After that, Arabs took control of the spice empire, and ginger became too costly, and its popularity plummeted.
It's good for digestion.
My fungal.
Mix that up nice so everyone inside gets to know each other. This is no place for strangers. This is a home for friends. Put your ancestor-approved wood spoon in its holder and let that come to a slow boil. If you thought I was done breaking the rules, guess again. I like using white wine instead of red. It adds a nice sweetness to counteract the bitterness and brightens the palate. I know this is directly against canon, but just like Emperor Nero, I do what I want. I'll die on this hill, there's nothing you can do to stop me, and you won't change my mind. Add some dry oregano if you want, I usually do. Another optional ingredient is anise or fennel seeds. We're using sausage, so I won't be using this, but if we didn't have those, I would just get that for some flavor. It's like a cheat code for poor people. Plop that meat into the jacuzzi party and turn the heat down to low so the magic can cultivate. We simmer this for a very long time. Just like with all things worth doing, it takes about 4 to 6 hours while stirring occasionally.
Yes, I'm sitting right here, waiting for you, my dear.
Once it gets nice and thick, add some water, beef stock, and wine to thin back out and reduce again and again and again. If you get frustrated, just remember this is to achieve optimum flavor potential using turnkey solutions and hard data-driven results.
Again. And again. And again. Forever.
And there she is. The tenderness of the meat is your timer. When it falls off the bone, or you can cut it with a spoon, like what I'm about to do here, coming up, you know it's done. If your thickness isn't where you want it, take the lid off and let it boil off on low heat. It's really hard to overcook anything doing it like this. There it is.
Now this is the most crucial part.
Oh my God!
You put the pasta back in the pot. You add a little gravy and a little butter. Then you put the fire back on for 45 seconds. Stir it up real nice.
45 seconds?
Yeah, that way the macaroni absorbs the gravy instead of just coats it. This is for flavor.
How much I owe you for it?
Get out of here. Your money's no good. Macaroni's ready!